I want you to greet everybody, of course, but I want you to begin by talking to us about why are you doing ministry there? You could be a lot of places, right? You're young, you have energy, you're easily the most likable of your siblings. You could be a lot of different places. So why there? Why are you doing ministry there?
So, aside from the Philippines, we do ministry in Southeast Asia and hopefully in the in the Middle East. It's recorded, right? But the reason being is that I believe it's the Lord's leading for me to be there. I know there's need everywhere. Everywhere I go, whenever I'm here in California, or like there's always a church that needs another pastor or another missionary. But I believe that ever since I was young, the Lord has called me to be in the Philippines for the specific reason of being able to mobilize our young people to be sent out to missions in wave after wave. So that was the vision that was given by the Lord since I was younger. And so that's why I've just been trusting in the Lord step by step. Whatever He says, where I go, then that's where I'll be. And it's always the best place, not exactly the safest place or the most comfortable place, but it's been the best place.
What are some of the challenges you face?
There are physical challenges I have, but more than...
You're small. We know that.
When I first went to the Philippines, man, I can talk 2 hours about challenges, Pastor Pete. But when I first went to the Philippines, it was just me. My whole family's here in the U.S. I don't really have connections in the Philippines. I don't know a lot of people, and the vision that God gave me was very general. I didn't know where to start. So one of the most, one big challenge I got coming into the Philippines was just getting connected and staying alive, basically. And so knowing where to go and how to start ministry there. But 10 years after that, the challenges I face now are more of the lack of workers in the field. That's a reality. And even so with raising up young people who want to be leaders and who want to disciple other young people so that they can be sent out into the field, that's a real challenge. The world has really discipled the young people to want to have success in a different sense. And so one of the challenges to just really get the heart of the church back to what really matters, which is the Great Commission. And another thing that's very challenging for us right now, and especially for me, is to see how, can I be real? To see how the church is very divided. And for example, last year we've been to many nations with different kinds of churches. But then we see that even in the localities, the church has not been as united. And that has been a challenge to see. But yeah, those are my main challenges, Pastor Pete. But
So you planted a church.
I did.
And it's mostly young people.
It's mostly young people.
And it's vibrant, it's alive, it's good, it's everything.
By God's grace.
But you also go to really remote areas too.
Yes, we do.
You have to understand, part of the Philippines, it's like being here, very modern. But part of the Philippines, not so much.
Not so much. So in parts of the Philippines, in the southern part, we've just ended a very long war. So decades of war with terrorist groups. And so part of the work that we do is to partner with the military to bring medical aid and to bring the gospel message into those areas. And so some of the towns there have just been repopulated just 2 years ago, last year. And so that's part of the work, and just bringing awareness to the city churches, especially to the church where the Lord has placed me in, which is in Manila.
So you got a lot going on, and as you said, you could talk for a long time about all that.
I can.
And the things you're involved in and the things God showed you and all that. Are you encouraged?
Very much so.
Why?
because God has never failed. God has remained faithful throughout more than a decade of me being there. And he remained faithful in his promises.
He's got a good track record.
He's got a good track record.
Tell us, one last question. Why should people be involved in missions? I mean, some of you may feel like, and you can talk to Daena afterward about this, maybe I could go and help,
Yes.
on a short-term basis, and that's very possible. But there are other ways to be involved. Why should people be involved in missions? You care about missions. Why should other people be involved?
It's a heartbeat of God. And Jesus himself went on a mission to save us. That's what Christianity is all about. And that's what Jesus is all about. And to be honest, we try to do a lot of things to make things work in our lives, like to be successful, or like when we're sick to be better. But I believe all of that, all of the problems in this world can only be solved by the coming of Jesus Christ. And so everything will be perfected on that day. I live for that day. I can do all I can to fix things right now, the things that can crowd our minds in our everyday, trying to fix problems here and there. But the only answer is Jesus. And my number one wish in life is to be able to see that day come on my lifetime. It would mean that we have done well and we have finished the Great Commission. We have completed it. And so why should the church be involved? Because I think it's time that we don't get distracted. I think it's time that we focus on the heart of why Jesus really came to give us the good news. And so let every tongue and every tribe confess that Jesus is Lord. Let them have a chance to get to know Jesus Christ and to make that decision for themselves. And then the end shall come. And then, my dad is in the hospital all the time. There's really nothing medicine can do for him. Ultimately, even if we pray for healing right now, one day he will die. One day he will die. I will die one day. And so there is no hope other than Jesus Christ. And that's what I really hold on to. That's why I'm very passionate about this.
Excellent. Excellent.